as a third world country, you would think the health is it's a lot different from here in the States. Like for example, TB or tuberculosis is it doesn't really, not a problem here in the States, but it's a really bad problem over there, especially in places where people live very close to each other, like the settlements. We always came across people who had TB, and you could see it. You didn't even have to ask. You can see it. They get really skinny. It's really sad. There's been, and it's a real killer out there. TB or tuberculosis. Other things that are common, like how you say that, dengue fever, how you pronounce it. I never had it, but there were some missionaries. My mission president, he contracted it once. Malaria is a big problem. Typhoid obviously is a big problem. I actually had malaria and typhoid myself towards the end of my mission, which was this year actually. It was earlier this year. I got it. I was actually sick with it for maybe, I'd say, 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, I guess. The first week was it was one of the worst experiences of my life. The first week, man, it was bad. I don't know why I got it, because I had malaria when I first came on my mission. I could barely move. I was shivering all the time. My joints hurt. I had a massive headache all the time. And the thing was, there was no medicine for it where I was, so I had to deal with it. And now at the same time, I was really scared to tell my mission president, because my first thought is, you get sick, you get hurt, you get sent home. And so I was like, I don't want to get sent home. I just got here. And so when I first got malaria, that was, it was my experience. It was unpleasant. It hurt really bad. I couldn't barely move. Because of that, I didn't wash for 4 days until I decided, I felt sorry for my companion that was sleeping above me. And so I decided to drag myself to go, wash myself. And I got better. I just eventually got better. And then that was the beginning of my mission. Towards the end of my mission, I got sick again with typhoid and malaria. Because mosquitoes are everywhere. When it's close to the water, like the rivers or the swamp, you could literally feel them, hear them, feel them like what's it, like ghosts touching or something. Like they're just touching, like we're just walking and moving, or we're sitting and with a shirt and we're swiping our faces, or we would be sitting outside and eating, and we would have to smoke a fire around us. And we would just be sitting in the smoke. We'd rather be sitting in the smoke than sitting with the mosquitoes being eaten alive. And I'm pretty sure because I was stubborn, and at the same time I was prideful, because I was like, I don't care because I didn't put on the spray, I didn't take the pills. I was just too lazy, and I was just walking around. So I was like, oh, the mosquitoes are no big deal. And eventually I got malaria towards the end of my mission. And this was in one of the remote villages in Gulf Province, a village called Moveave or Hatawari. And me being the really smart person I thought that because a lot of people, they drank from the river, and the river was brown. It looked like you would pour, it looked like chocolate milk, basically. But I saw people drinking it, and I was like, oh, I guess I could do it. And I drank it. And it tasted like water. And I was like, oh, this doesn't taste bad. It tastes all right. And I kept on drinking it. And then I remember one time we were docking the boat that we were on to the riverbank. And I wasn't even thirsty. I think I was just showing off. I just took one gulp and I tasted it. And then I looked up. I thought people were just in the water, because it was my first time there. I thought people were just in the water. But really, they're just using the bathroom. And I was just drinking it, and I was in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get sick, I'm gonna die now. And I was like, and then people were laughing, not people, but my companion was laughing at me. The branch president that was with us was laughing at me. It's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm thirsty, I'm just drinking water. He's like, you're not drinking water, you're drinking them. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was really, I didn't care about being embarrassed. I was just scared that I got sick. And it actually caught up to me, because a few days after that, I started feeling hecka weird. I started getting headaches. And luckily, we at the same time we had to go down. We had to go down the river and then down the highway to our zone leaders area for zone training meeting. And the whole ride there was horrible because we were in these tightly packed PMVs. It's like especially like a flatbed truck, a long flatbed truck with canvas and benches on the back that they usually use as a form of transportation. They all pile inside and to travel long distances. And then we were in that for about maybe 4 hours on the road. And I was just trying my best to sleep, but like the heat from the people in there, the smell, the bumpy road, man. The whole time in there, I was just praying. I was like, please get me through this. I was like, I don't want to yak inside. I don't want to throw up inside the PMV. But I was still able to walk and stuff. And then when we got to the zone leaders area, that's when it got worse. It was everything from, the symptoms, headaches, everything that I ate just went through, just like one way out. It was, it was bad. And I felt weak all the time. I was always going to the bathroom like every 5 minutes. Headache. It was like hands down one of the worst feelings, one of the worst experiences I've ever experienced in my life. And that was malaria and typhoid mixed together. And I just thought I had malaria. We didn't go to the doctors yet. And then I finally pulled together my pride and I just told the zone leaders, call the mission president. Called the mission president, and the next day they drove us down, me and my companion, down to the city where they had a hospital, or their version of a hospital. We went inside, got my blood tested, and they said that I had malaria and typhoid at the same time. And so when, we understand malaria, and then as soon as he said typhoid, I knew exactly what the typhoid was from. It was from drinking that water. Drinking the water that the people, they were, that was their bathroom basically. I got that. As soon as I got that, I just, they just pumped me up a bunch with fluids and stuff. I felt better than before, but I was still like hecka droopy and with headaches, and I didn't have an appetite at all for the next week. And so, it took me like a week to recover, and like waking up in the mornings, I always had like a sore stomach. It's a bad feeling. And that 2 weeks, I think I dropped almost 50 pounds. Like, it was like a really big difference. Like, I came back, everyone was like staring at me. Like, all the other missionaries were staring at me. The mission president's wife was like about to like cry. She like gasped when she looked at me because like my neck was like a pencil. My cheeks were inside. And I was just like, it was really like slim. And then compared to when I first came to the mission, I was like, 260, 270. And then from the beginning of my mission and go to towards the end of my mission, I think I was like around like 215 or 210, 210 pounds. Obviously I gained it back again, but just combined with being sick, just walking all the time, doing like physical labor, physical work all the time, helping people. And just eating good, eating when we need to, and eating like right, like, the foods that, we should eat. That like made me lose that, 80 or 90 pounds. I didn't want to, but it's what happened. But being sick with malaria was a big factor. But, it's really, what I suggest for people serving in similar places is don't drink the water. Don't drink the water that, just drink the water that you think. If you think that you want to drink the water but you're not too sure about, just say a prayer real quick. Bless the water. Hopefully, I didn't do that, and look where that got me. And just, I guess, I don't know, just be smart. Don't be stubborn. Don't be prideful. Because what my mission president's wife always said was, all these Polynesian elders think they're like big, strong and stuff, but you can't beat up malaria, you can't beat up typhoid or anything like that, or so I guess be smart, don't be stubborn, don't let pride get in the way, or don't let ego or something get in the way of that, because malaria, typhoid, no one or dengue fever. No one ever wants that, in their life.